Hey Wizard Nation, I'm Steve Leon and I'm here with Christopher Kolchak, who is actually a graduate of Washington High School, and he just finished his presentation to the school body. So Christopher, for those who may not have been here, what was your presentation about?
Well, my presentation here today was about citizenship, service, and engagement. And basically those are the three things that I had learned when I took my own ride around the United States, as I discuss in my book, and what I'd learned not just from that ride, but thinking back on my 30-odd years of service in the U.S. military, 20 of which were actually spent outside this country. So I was reflecting on all of that, and I realized that the way that so many of us are going to move forward, and the way each generation basically steps up to the plate and answers its own version of the question, what does it mean to be an American? What does that mean in the world that we live in today?
What sparked the idea of going back on your Harley and traveling the U.S. again?
Well, I didn't intend to write this book. I explain all this in the introduction, but I just thought I'd go around the country and kind of reflect on what I'd learned, in those 30 years, trying to make sense of it all. Sometimes the way you go forward is by looking back and kind of getting some sense of it and then moving forward again. That happens many times in our lives. So when I came back from all that, I'd written some things down, and somebody said, "Chris, this is a book. Write it." So, okay, sooner or later, I wrote the book. Well, when I came to the conclusions that I came to, the things that I just talked to you about citizenship and about service and about engagement, I realized that this was more than just a book. I had a message here to deliver.
So during the presentation, you actually had Miss Lynch of the Wizards Against Cancer Club and actually a person of our BGTV class, Elisa Vasquez. For someone my age or younger than me or older, what are some ways that we can actually give back to the community?
Well, there are many different organizations. There are plenty of teachers here in school that will tell you your guidance counselor will probably tell you all the community service organizations here. You just do, hey, if there's anybody who knows how to navigate the web, okay, it's your generation. I mean, I'm kind of a dinosaur still in many respects. But you can look a lot of that stuff up there in social media and the web. You can find out all kinds of things that are being done.
I like that answer. It's definitely a good one. And actually, we have a community service club in the school brought to you by Ms. Worcester and Ms. Fry. America is a great country, as we do get the right to vote and everything like that. We do get to pick our officials who didn't. And
that should not be taken for granted. That's a responsibility and not just a right.
Yeah, actually did another piece about that and how we should be voting and everything, because it's our voice that is heard. And I saw you wrote a Huffington Post article about foreign policy, and how would it be a way that we change our foreign policy for the better, in your opinion?
Well, the thing that I've been basically talking about, and here it comes again. Whether this is the same lesson right here, it's one thing to walk the walk. It's another thing to talk the talk. Our values and action tell us more about who we are than what we say what we are. So you can't just talk the talk. You got to go out and do these things. Leadership by example is the most powerful form of leadership. That's really the key. And you know what? We have a greater opportunity to do that now than we've ever been. We can travel more easily than we ever have, and we have all of these technologies that help us get connected with those people that we met and meet other people.
Yeah, politics is huge in the news, so saying something like that can obviously inform people who may not be so informed about foreign policy. Thank you. Lastly, what are some last things you'd like to say to the people who might be watching this at school and everything like that?
I remembered saying something to the students here that, somebody had asked a question about what does it feel like when you go out to foreign countries, and that kind of scary feeling that when you leave the known world that you live in, and when you graduate from high school, that's a big process. That's a big step forward. And it's that old Indian sage's advice, the old North American, Native American Indian advice that they gave to their younger people. And as one of the tribal elders saying to the younger person, in the course of your life, you will come across many chasms. Jump. It is not as far as you think. Fear is the thing that holds you back. Don't let it do that.
I'd like to thank you for this interview and to come here today. So thank you on behalf of the school and Wizard Nation.